1982 Knoxville, Tennessee World's Fair. I was telling someone the other day that most of the people you see driving or walking down the street have a story. I did not give this much thought until I celebrated my 70th birthday. As that was 6 years ago, I have included the telling of some of it now. Although intended for my descendants, I am willing to share it with anyone who cares to read about it. You must tell your own story if you are not famous enough for a legitimate publishing company to present it. Using the word "it" again, that's the reason I am publishing it. Someone said the crime in K-Town during 1982 was low due to the fact that most of the people had jobs working for the World's Fair in Knoxville, Tennessee. This could be true, but I am not sure. I worked in the operations building the entire time of the World's Fair. We were in charge of World's Fair information radio, staff cars, and tour buses. We were the people you saw all over the fairgrounds carrying walkie-talkies. This was before the internet, digital radios, and cell phones, so we carried those huge radios that weighed a ton. The operations building at the 1982 World's Fair was a mishmash of just about every kind of individual. All of the government agencies had an office in the building. The place was always buzzing with every language known to man. I met some very interesting individuals, and I must say the folks from the Philippines were some of the most handsome people I have ever seen in my life. The walls in the bathroom were covered with graffiti in all languages and ideograms imaginable. One morning I walked into the bathroom, and overnight the maintenance people had painted everything with gloss white enamel. The place was so clean and white, it was a sudden shock to walk in the place and see the cleanliness. It was amazing. And then, in small letters, written in red ink, I read one of the funniest things I have ever read on a bathroom wall. What I read would not have been funny if the place looked like it did the day before. And to keep my blog G-rated, you will need to use your imagination. In small red letters was written, the only thing in there on that white glossy paint, "Again, we blank up the walls." Ronald Reagan had fired all the air traffic controllers, and most of them were working in the World's Fair. We had several of them working with us, and I know this was some of the brightest and sharpest people I ever had the pleasure of working with. They told me a story about UFOs I would like to share with you because it is so funny and explains so much. I'm saving that one for a later blog post. It's probably inevitable when working as a jack of all trades and a master of none, like my career has always been, to cross paths with people you worked with in other totally unrelated places. That's the way it was in the operations building, and I would wind up seeing them in other unrelated places in the future. Sometimes I think about this, and I cannot believe all of this was coincidental. But who knows?